So when I started selling real estate, nobody ever talked about radon. Or if they did, they weren't talking about it locally in the early 90s or the mid 90s. As I've progressed in my career, that's something that has become far more common, that people are talking about it and testing for it. What are your thoughts on the radon testing, and is that something you would recommend that people be looking at?
Like a lot of aspects with the inspection process, going from handwritten reports to 10-page reports to 75-page reports, you kind of have an evolution between what inspectors are offering and what consumers are asking for, and what laws are there or not. You know, radon has been a significant issue in the greater Portland metro area, Skamania County, Clark County, Multnomah County. For a long time, the EPA has known that. They rate those areas with the highest rating that they give.
Oh, wow.
Okay. But in terms of, you know, consumer awareness, in Clark County, it's really been, I would use, since about 2012 is when we really started getting a lot of questions about it.
Yep.
You know, and, you know, that started with one radon monitor. And then, you know, now I think we have like 15, 16 of them, 17 of them.
Yeah.
They're over $1,000 a piece. And that's been consumers wanting it. So it's like, we started offering it because we were getting asked constantly.
Yeah.
What was happening is, you have, generally speaking, a greater awareness of certain things in Portland. And then the people from Portland move, and they take with them what is normal in the real estate culture there, and they bring it to Clark County.
Right.
Okay, that eventually happened about 6-7 years ago with sewer scopes.
Exactly.
When I was doing home inspections in 2009 in Portland, it was normal to have a home inspection, radon, and sewer scope all the time.
Interesting.
Okay, but what wasn't normal was for people to ask us to do it. That changed. Okay.
Got it.
Clark County, then people started doing it too. So you got sewer scopes, you have radon testing, and you know, people thought for a while, oh, that's a Portland thing. No, it's a Columbia River thing.
Right.
We don't have more or less radon than Multnomah County has. What Multnomah County has is a consciousness that Clark County did not have. Okay. And I always tell people, it's like real estate culture, home inspections. It goes like this: Multnomah County, and then about 7 to 12 years later, Clark County, and then about 15 to 20 years later, Cowlitz County. That's kind of how that works.
So they're not quite there yet.
Not as much. You'll see a definite drop in the number of people that have sewer scopes and radon testing. I mean, I bet that if you just took the volume of homes that are sold in Clark County versus Cowlitz County, you probably have more people in Cowlitz County don't have a home inspection.
Right.
Because they don't need it. It's just a different culture, you know. And so, yeah, sewer scopes, radon, that was totally consumer based. They asked for it. And they continue to ask for it. And then about 6 years ago, they were asking for it in one swoop, where we were saying, like, if you're not offering this as a service with an inspection and radon, then we're just gonna go somewhere that does. So you're kind of responding to those needs. We're really not driving those needs. Those are questions we're getting from consumers.
I believe that, because on my end, that's where they come from. Is often it's coming from across the river, as people are migrating out of the Portland metro area into Clark County, and they're bringing that culture with them.
Bringing it with them. And, you know, how often will I find, if I take all the houses that I do, elevated levels of radon? I'm going to give it about 5 to 10%, which sounds low, okay? But I think that the way to look at it would be, it's like, I find in December's leaking roofs 3% of the time. Do you want your roof looked at?
Absolutely.
Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, if you don't want radon done, I really don't care.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to know?
Right.
Do you want to know if your brand new roof leaks or not?
Yeah.
Do you want to know if the house has radon or not? It's really information. And this comes back to, you know, something that we were talking about earlier. What's an acceptable amount of issues or issue with a house is the buyer's determination. They're the ones that pass or fail. A buyer needs to do what they need to do to make themselves feel comfortable with the purchase. For one person, that might be just a home inspection. For someone else, it might be a home inspection, radon testing, sewer scope, tank sweep to determine whether there's like a buried storage container underground, mold testing. That's what they have to do. Okay.
Right.
That's not the inspector's determination. It's not the realtor's determination. They're the ones that are buying a $600,000, a $500,000, an $800,000 home. They need to do what they need to do to make them feel comfortable.